Trying to see if anybody's out there. Let's see if anyone's there. A random live, so I don't. Yeah, I suppose time-wise, it's not many people online at the moment. Hi, didn't choose a good time to come on, I suppose, because, most people are either awake, it depends what part of the world you are in as well, not able to come on live. So what I wanted to talk about was what we're seeing going on at the moment, and what you're picking up is a huge amount of fear with what's happening in the world. Around the world, people are, seeing what's going on, and they're very frightened. And it's been spread, obviously. Their fears are spread, and what people are putting out is spreading it. So there's a lot of fear. And the collective shadow. So what we're seeing happening out there is the collective shadow. Everything that's inside all humans, all their darkness, all their greatest fears are being, basically, come up, and we all like, oh my gosh. And still, the sad thing is, so many people don't realize that it's in them. They need to do their inner work, because they're not going to change what they see on the outside. But that's besides the point. That'll take time to for people to get that point. Whatever's inside is you're going to see outside. So what I was thinking is, I see so many people, depending on what they're buying and following and beliefs, but most people, it doesn't matter what you're following, pretty much the collective is in fear of something, rather, or darkness, or following the whatever, or tapping into a very negative timeline. So a lot of people are tapping into a very low timeline. If you're on that, you're going to pick up the lowest timeline, because what you have got in the darkness, you're going to see the darkness. So it's complicated. So what I was thinking, just maybe I'll make some short 60-second things to tell people, what they can do to counteract, because what they're seeing at the moment, say mainstream on the news, is massive, which has always been the massive corruption, manipulation, coercion, coming out. Being brought, all the dirty laundry, of being brought out to air. Well, starting to, I'm sure there's a lot more of it, but I'm sure it's not being allowed out to air. So this is what we're seeing, but it's also represented right throughout. People just think it's right throughout society, throughout us, throughout everything. So people are focusing on that, and all they're doing is seeing the dark, but no one's focusing on the solution and changing it. So what they can do, the ones that are in fear and whatever else and feel hopeless and frightened, is meditate and pray on the opposite. So instead of saying, oh my gosh, because this is what we got, our leaders are corrupt, they're this, they're that, they're dark, they're that, whatever you want to believe, whatever. Remember, whatever you haven't cleared in you're going to, see out there. It's projection. Like, other people's behavior, the same thing. So everyone says, oh my gosh, what upsets you, what you find irritating in someone is something that is unresolved in you. You haven't healed it and cleared it. So this is what you're going to see in what's going on outside. So people can do their meditation or their prayers on seeing the actual world that they want, instead of saying, oh, yes, okay, we see, oh, and I don't like that. No, that's not good. That's corrupt. Yes, yeah. And that if you keep on focusing on that, all you're doing is holding that there, you're acknowledging, but it's not going to change what you're seeing there. So what you can do, or people, I suggest, I'll never tell anyone what to do, but if people spend their time every day or every morning, or whatever they do, when they pray or meditate, is to pray and meditate and to see the leadership and the kind of governance and world that you would like to see. So I'm sure everybody out there would like to see leaders, or whatever position, whether it's local government, whether it's whatever, in anything, teachers, whatever, all of these kind of people that have influence or out there, everybody that is it's stable, that is balanced, would want to see their leaders kind, compassionate, honest, with integrity. You know what I mean? All these things, you want to see that. Those are the kind of people that you want. So you want to know that your teacher, your government, your president, your whatever, prime minister, is a loving, honest, kind, ethical, You know, things like that. These are the kind of leadership, say with teachers. You know what? It doesn't matter. Those are the people that, you know, whether they are priests, whether they're teachers, whatever they are, all right? They're the ones that are guiding humanity. So they influence your children, you, the world, what happens, as we notice. So when we've got now, as we've seen, we let our darkest, and it's all coming up. So we've got the collective shadow, you know, now we need to clear it. You know, that's come up, all the worst behavior. Yes, of course they're human, everything. At the moment, you're all playing human. Yes, just consciousness, just a level of consciousness, that's all. So all we need to do is, if people spend their time then now praying, instead of in fear, spend their time or their prayers or their meditation visualizing and praying, asking, however you do it, it doesn't matter. Whether you're doing it via prayer, whether you're doing it via meditation, you see the leaders, the world, the government, the ones you want. You see these perfect balance, harmony. There's no fighting and bitching and backstabbing and corruption. You see love, integrity, honesty, compassion, unity, all these things. See it, manifest it, make it, claim it. This is what we should be doing, and we will see a lot different, and you'll see that fear subside then, because you are changing. This is what you are asking for. You are claiming, you're meditating, you're praying on. You see, instead of saying, oh my gosh, this is what I don't want, all you're doing is holding it in the field. Okay, and those are whatever side of the fence you're on. If you believe in the prayer, if you believe in that, then that's what you should be doing. You should be asking and praying and focusing on that. And not like, oh, please give it to us. No. You know, what you ask, what you claim is what you get, what you seek. It's answered. We know that. Your prayers are answered, your meditation, whatever, it's done. So we should be, you know, if people did that, it would also take their mind off all the fear and, oh my gosh, you know, they feel like they don't have control, same thing. Because they don't. It's, well, I don't want to go into the whole, you know, as within, so without, pretty much. So you'll see there's different perceptions. Here we are. I'm going to use an example of the British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, right? Wow. Was asked about the corruption in the UK. Now, let's just say his perception was that he doesn't think or see any corruption. He doesn't think. He doesn't believe, there we are, that there is corruption in the UK. That is, whether it's, let's just say that's his perception, right? So he doesn't see anything corrupt. Or what? I don't see any corruption. Yeah, you know, it looks all good to me. You see, then you'll get others. Then you'll get others that think, well, no, it's not corrupt. There's no corruption. Why? Because it's legal. So if you do, say, unethical things or immoral things or whatever, conflict, whatever it is, right? But as far as legislation goes, there's a loophole. Well, it doesn't matter. That's not, you didn't break the law, so that's good. So you've got those that can see. There's all levels of consciousness and perception. So then you'll get those that say, oh, well, no, you didn't do anything wrong because you didn't break the law. So that's okay. Then you get others, oh, well, it doesn't really matter, you know, and, you know. So that's what I'm saying. You've got all of these humans that are going to see it in different ways. Then you're going to get others that will see clearly, oh no, this is a massive conflict of interest. This is just, you know, criminalization or the mafia, basically, in a suit. So you've got all of these different humans out there, and people are going to see and somebody's going to say, oh, well, we didn't see that, you know, it doesn't really matter. As long as you get the job done, it doesn't matter what you do, all like fair and level war. You see what I'm saying? You've got this is the consciousness we got on the planet, different levels of consciousness. So everybody is going to have a different perspective. And as you see, the Prime Minister of England's perspective is yeah. Yeah. You see? In other words, what we don't talk about doesn't exist, kind of thing. No. It doesn't. You know, it's good. It's not there. It's not there. Put it in the closet. We don't want to see. So there's all of this going on in the average public, especially the young ones with higher consciousness, which is most young people coming in. I've got as I said, it's almost a built-in bullshit detector. Their consciousness is higher. The veil is dropping. So more and more people, this is why it looks at me, are seeing the dark. Oh my gosh, no. Oh my gosh, we're seeing all our dark. Well, there we are ourselves. It's actually in your, I don't want to say it's going to be so much for some people if I go too esoteric, because what's in you, what's really happening in the shift is that the light is increasing in you. Your DNA has been activated. So this is why your memories, your cache, you're waking up, you're seeing things, you're connecting, all these things are coming on, or you're coming in ready with that, with a higher, more DNA, more light, less of a veil. It means everything's inside you, your cache has been activated. This is why you start remembering and seeing lives past, present, future, others, Okay. So this is really what's happening in, everybody's darkness in them is also that if whatever fears they've manifested in darkness that they've hang on to for, say, carnations, this lifetime, many lifetimes, they've now manifested some really dark things, entities even in themselves. And it's like, oh my, because these are, stuck, it's all energy, stuck energy, that whatever. So this is all basically, as I say, it's a collective shadow. So everybody's darkness is coming up to being seen, and depending on what's in you is what you're going to see outside. Like I said, here's a classic example. Oh no, that's good. It's all good. There's no corruption here. Nothing to see. Or oh my gosh, that's just despicable. That's unacceptable. That's it depends on your consciousness and belief. If you don't think doing wrong is to others or unfair is wrong, then your belief is that's it, and that's what you will see and believe, and that there's so many different beliefs out there. It's mind-boggling, because we at the moment, as we're going through the shift, we got tons of different levels of consciousness. So if you're in a dark, dense consciousness, well, you're not going to see it, or it's acceptable, or you're in the darkness yourself. So, wow, it's just so complicated to try and explain. But those that are rising above, working on their own shadows or darkness or shadow work or collective, or seeing it out there, there's a lot of people that aren't. There are a lot of people that are awake, they're seeing it out there and not understand, and frightened. And looking for that darkness or that, to try and eradicate the darkness on the outside, not understanding if they don't eradicate it on the inside, it's never going to go away. So it's very complicated. So I think I'll make small ones, maybe just suggestions that people, even global meditations, groups, whether it's groups, people, mass meditations, that you meditate on the world and on the leadership that you want to see. I mean, sure, half the young people, especially me and everybody and my children, would like teachers. I mean, this 200-year antiquated teaching system and, do as you're told kind of thing needs to go. And what they're learning is, I mean, it's outdated, so outdated. So I'm sure everyone would love loving, kind, compassionate, teachers, honest, all these kind of things, integrity. We don't want the bully aspect. We've grown up in the darker, denser energy where it was bully. I'm the boss. You do as I say. You see? Whether it's in work, whether it's in school, this is that whole mentality. Anyway, and you're seeing it out there, just globally, you're seeing in the world, the leadership. It's bully. I'm the bully. I've got the biggest stick. So you're going to do what I told. Don't ask. Don't question. Don't do this. This is what people were taught right throughout our system. It's very, yes. And not love, not unity, not compassion, not tolerance. The opposite. Oh, wow. Anyway. So maybe people need to pray, meditate and pray, even their own, even on their own daily, and see the world that you want. So see those leaders, teachers, politicians, whatever. What's happening now, I see, is everybody is projecting the darkness. Oh my gosh, their darkness on them. It's them. They're the evil people. Let's lynch them. Let's do this. Let's do that. It's so much fear and so much... the collective shadow is like, wow, everyone's on the hunt, looking for, it's fear, it's all kinds of things being projected out there. Instead of, okay, wow, we see it, all right, what do we want to see? And yeah, I know, you don't know where to start actually, because you know everybody has to do themselves until every single human goes within and fixes on the inside themselves. We're not going to see much of a change on the outside. It's a very difficult. It's a very difficult. Inner work is so important, but we can do what we can. You know, help keep the peace, the calm. It's just. I meditated on it today, but yeah, I'm not getting much on that. What do you say? You know, you realize that people have to go within and have to change themselves. We change the world by changing ourselves. But when you're in a darkness, in a dark, dense energy, and for you can't even, it's nothing to do with you. You're fine. Everything's out there, you see. So, well, we'll just change him and it'll be good. We need to, or that party, or, you know, whatever. And that's the same illusion that we've been playing for centuries, decades. It's that party, it's this party, it's him, it's her, it's this and that. Well, tennis match, basically. Passing the back. Anyway, so I really, what can you do? Work on you, obviously, you know. Work on you and do that and see it yourself. So those of you who have got that level of consciousness, to be observers, not to attach to what you see on the outside, and non-attachment, is to work on doing that in meditation. Because when you're in a higher state of consciousness, in the manifestation, and that you're able to manifest, you're able to affect physics, you're able to affect reality in that brainwave or in that energy and state. When you've risen to a higher state of consciousness, energy, dimension, frequency, vibration, however you want to term it, you have an impact. Just you being on the planet, holding that level of consciousness and energy, you are impacting the collective consciousness and light and everything on the planet. You know, we're pulling the planet and everything up with us. You know, we shift. So it's very important that we don't get pulled down with the collective by focusing on what's out there. That you maintain that high frequency vibration level of consciousness, so we can hold humanity from going down and sinking into a black hole, which they, you know, trying to. So we've got to hold them. What you're doing is holding up the planet, really. You're holding up the collective. But if you don't let your light be affected, your frequency, your vibration, so it's so much inner work, it's so much detaching from the outside. Thank you. I saw that, yeah, and I get in my meditations, yeah. So we do that, you know. We really are. You have an impact, and this is probably why people are going to be very careful not to attach to what's going on. Take it as your truth, buy into that. Some of these timelines people are seeing are very low, very, very low. Why? Because they haven't cleared all the darkness in themselves, so they're tapping in, and you're seeing the lowest, darkest timeline, the collective darkness. Wow, there's some dark timelines out there, very low timelines. Now, some of us won't see that at all, because you are above that. You've done your work, you've raised your consciousness, frequency, vibration, so you won't see those negative timelines, because they're not in your frequency, vibration, dimension, or perception. It's difficult to explain. So some of us are like, what are you talking about? You're tapping into some very dark, dense, you know, timelines of consciousness. My higher self or you are not seeing any of that, because you haven't chosen to identify. See, it's like choosing records. You've got all these records out there, so you can choose rock, punk, this, that, whatever, right? Whichever one you choose is what you're going to hear, what you're going to see is what, you know. Same with perceptions, or same with what's going on out there, stories, right? You've got the red pill movement, the this movement, the that, whatever else. And some people, there's nothing coming from within. Nothing is coming from divine, from source, from divine guidance. Source didn't say, oh my gosh, it's a divine plan. Source, you're not going to hear from source, oh my gosh, run for the hills, you know, you're finished, you do nothing. But it's coming from humans. These stories, these perceptions, these media is coming from people, and whatever manipulation or shadow what they're holding. So you can choose, oh my gosh, I resonate with that. I'm going to buy that as my belief and my story. well, then that's what you're going to pull into your reality. You're going to lower your timeline to some dark, dense timeline. It's so so we can't, and we can't control, and every human and every being has chosen their evolution, their path, their pace. Some are not going to raise their consciousness or whatever now. They haven't chosen to. They want to stay in 3D, or they have a previous lesson to learn, or whatever. So this is what they're going to do. So we, it's not for us. Some are going to raise at a different time, and some are, haven't learned a lesson, so they'll fall back down again. They'll go up and down. Hey, we're just, it's all you. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. You've got all these different, wow. And some people are tapping into some dark timelines. I mean, some of the things that are going around, I was like, someone sent me some stuff, and I was like, wow, that's a very dark timeline you tapped into. I don't know what timeline you're on, but like, I don't want to choose that. I'm not going to go down and go to a lower timeline and dimension and choose that reality. No, thank you. My photons, my energy, my thing is not going to manifest any destruction on the planet, or harm to any other humans, or see the worst. Ooh, that's a very dark timeline. I don't want to put my energy, focus, and photons on manifesting the destruction or death of many humans on the planet. No, thank you. Yeah, I know. So be careful what you focus on and what you choose to believe, because if you are listening to some media, social media, alternative media, and deciding, that's my truth, I believe that, and you're taking it, you are saying, right, this is my truth, my reality, my thought, and all your thoughts and attention, as I say, collectively, you're manifested collectively. This is what's happening out there. They're bringing it into their life and experience in the physical. We're seeing it playing out. I was trying to warn people over a year ago. You're seeing it playing out. The darkest timeline that you were telling them, don't focus on that, don't believe they did, and then are manifesting it into physical. Anyway, it's a lesson. What can I say? So, and that's why you'll see the masters and a lot of people were quiet. You're quiet. People didn't ask them, they didn't say. There's some great wise minds out there, like even your Buddhas are quiet. They won't tell you what to think, do. You come to them. Only what you ask, they will answer. Because what do you tell people? You know what I mean? Because it's free will, and you understand that being is going through that it's a choice. It's a lesson. It's a something. This is what they've chosen, or they haven't got the picture, learned it yet. Maybe they haven't chosen to raise their consciousness actively. It's focus, ask, choice, intent. So, who are we to tell people what you should experience and, what level of consciousness you should be holding? Because this is why, because look at that example of the perceptions of what's right and corruption. Then there's no corruption. Oh, yes, there is. Oh, my God. I mean, you got them all fired. It's just, So, yes, all we can do is we can watch this. You did come here to experience this, and everyone's experiencing their own. Some didn't learn maybe from previous carnations and planets and lives, and they're repeating that same mistake, that they learned. I made an example about other planets, right? And other planets where humans and other beings have destroyed themselves in their war and fighting and nuked themselves and whatever. Look at the planets. And some planets are not even in existence. They're completely destroyed. Planets absolutely gone. I mean, they're now asteroids floating around, right? But then we come down to Earth and to play, you get a chance to play. Now we're going to play Earth free. Well, let's see if we don't make the same mistake. What do? Come down to Earth, start experiencing a shift, and then exactly buy into this hate, fear divide again. And I'm like, oh, okay. So you didn't learn what you did on the other planet. We got to get out of this divide. Oh, wow. Anyway. Yeah. And it's every single one of us is individual. So we are going to choose what level we want to play at, what dimension, what consciousness we want to hold, and how fast we want to evolve. That's it. Beginning, I suppose, as it goes on, the more it goes on, the more quiet I get, because then the more I realize, well, okay, this is free will, and their higher self, whatever lessons they haven't learned, was guiding them, and they'll be guided as they need and as they reach, to. And if they're choosing to buy choose, because you can choose whatever reality, perception, truth you want, as you notice, it's like quite diverse. So if you want to choose to believe or buy in the worst timeline or whatever else, that's what you're going to manifest, and your angels and guides and everyone will play along with you happily. They're not going to say, no, that's a lower timeline. You don't want to do that. That's wrong. That's not true. Not at all. Because you're creating your reality. I don't even know where to start. So I am now going to get to the point where I'm just at peace, with a lot. And yeah, just, I suppose, maybe I should start those meditations to help. You ask, what's the greatest good? How can I help? Hi, morning. How can I help? Divine guidance. To help, you want to help them. You really do. You want to help people. You want to pull them out of that. But if you remember, as a soul, because of the higher self, maybe the higher self sure as hell doesn't want to be dragged out of that at the moment. They want to experience that. Oh, we always got to remember to go back that every single one that you are seeing out there, doesn't matter what role they're playing and what consciousness has, is a divine being of source, is exactly the same as you. Their consciousness comes from source, is just as high as divine, and your consciousness doesn't need to go any higher. Your consciousness knows everything. You are part of that on the other side of the veil, that higher self. There's nothing the higher self doesn't know. It is absolutely divine, absolutely pure light, absolutely whatever. But you veiled, and you've got to make those choices. There's so we all know, all of them out there are choosing this experience or whatever. Wow. Thank you. I see, sorry people, I hope you don't think I'm rude, because I see, I get involved in my conversation, and my eyesight's not the best, is why you see me always wearing glasses. So I sometimes don't miss everyone's comment. And how this whole thing works, it's not like I always think, okay, you need to do this, you got to I see these things come up, and people, roses and stuff, I'm not even sure. So thank you very much. It's very sweet of you to do that, but I'm not even sure what they do. It's so I'm kind of in a very peaceful place of just love and acceptance. And this morning I've had some lovely meditations. Wow. Because I, my own intentions. So what I've intended to experience now, I'm working on those, which is purely, on a much higher level of consciousness. So that's my intention, is to raise this consciousness as high as possible, because we know we are halfway through this shift in energy. There's never going to go back. So we know that, this energy is going to, but I think we're halfway through this equinox of the shift, right? Which is bringing in this massive change. This is why you see a lot of darkness being projected out there. Those that don't want to now, drop with the 3D, they want to keep the darkness. Let's just say, I know I was laughing yesterday. The light is irritating the darkness. Definitely, the light is risen enough now to the extent that it's really irritating the darkness. It's too light for them. There's too much light for the darkness. The darkness is not. It's very uncomfortable. It's not liking the light too much, because it is going to be cleared completely. It's a different energy that's going. So it's not happy about the amount of light that's coming in. It's really making a noise and trying everything to keep that energy here. So to keep people in fear, to keep them in fear into every kind of lower, anything that's low. Thoughts, fear, anger, hate, judgment, division, whatever. It is really, it is quite, isn't it? It's got no chance. So it's trying to slow the process down. It already did in the 80s. They derailed. The human consciousness of such a level, they managed to drag it back down again. They are desperately trying to keep the human consciousness, and you manifesting the darkest timeline, focusing on it, keep it as long as possible, because they know that we're halfway through the shift. So we chose this we chose a very tough game. We're halfway through. Say we've got 18 years to raise human consciousness, to raise the planet. So the more you hold as high as possible, to reach the highest consciousness we've ever reached. And you've got the dark dense energy trying to stop you doing it. So to try and minimize as high, the lowest. So you will stay there, or maybe only get, say, let's just say work on dimensions, only fifth dimensional consciousness. There is no thing. We can raise it as high as possible. So we have this opportunity now to drag or to lift up the planet, a collective energy, frequency, vibration, and consciousness as high as we can before this equinox or 18-year session is finished. So anyway, at least the good new energy is there. So this is why you see that the big noise and the darkness is making such a, it's very, it really is too much light. It's desperately trying to keep the, keep you as distracted. And this is why there's so much stuff being put out there every day, massive amount of media pumped out constantly. And if people don't learn to completely switch off the outside completely, yes. Yeah. Yes, exactly. You've got that amount of time now. Okay, during the equinox, during this whole procession, to raise human consciousness as high as we. This is what. So they are desperately trying now to divert that, to distract you, to keep dark dense energy here by manufacturing fear, by doing whatever, all kinds of things out there. I noticed yesterday, I was laughing, I was saying, wow, the light is too much light out there. It's really irritating the life out of them. The light is just too much for them, and it's really annoying them. So they're trying to shut it down. They're trying to, keep that old paradigm. Hate, anger, divide, fear, racism, whatever it is, all those kind of things. Anything that will cause separation and division. Sorry, people, I'm just going to plug my phone in because it's about to go flat there. Hi, yeah. Fascinating what's going on out there. So we can see that, and that's why I say that the more, if you're battling, right, and you're buying into all this nonsense, or if any fear or anything you're going through, is switch it off. And what you can do is block those media's channels. And in one way, AI is a negative because it's keeping people in their box. Oh my gosh, those that are following any kind of fear porn and rubbish, those are the same channels and rubbish that it's going to keep showing you. Oh, you seem to like drama or watching bullshit or scary things. And that's what you'll see. So you want to carry on being scared, there's no shortage of that rubbish out there. So what you can do is disconnect yourself from all media. Anything that's selling negative, fear, oh my gosh, because you can tap into lower timelines, depending on where you are, your energy. So you're going to start seeing some really ugly things. Well, there we are. So you can stop following that. And if you wean yourself, it's addictive, off social media, and only put on the media, It's like I do at the moment. I don't see any news feeds anymore. I stopped them a while ago. I don't get any news feeds. Not a clue. I haven't a clue what's going on. I don't want to know because saw that a while ago. You knew what was going to come. So you don't have to watch it every day. So I switched it all off. So you're not letting that lower, that thought, because otherwise those are the thoughts, that's the energy, that's the thing that your consciousness. It's affecting your thought. Oh, wow. My spiritual awakening, I shot out, I went from 0 to 100 very quickly. It was agreed. I went from the darkest energy to the light, like this. But I've done it in other lives. To, I think, 2020 or 2019, I'm not sure. Recently. Yeah, I didn't mess around. Wow. I went to experience it. Oh, wow, interesting, actually, the incarnation I choose and the things I chose here. Wow, very challenging. But that's the reason why we did it, So obviously, you can do it because you wouldn't have chosen that, It was like, wow. But I almost didn't make it. I almost left the planet once or twice, and maybe also, whatever, Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. We remember our soul goes so far back before this planet. Before Earth was formed, we were there. Thank you. Well, that's why I'm staying on the planet. Yeah. And I always ask, what can I do to help humanity, to help Gaia? Please show me, for the highest, greatest good. I was busy at one stage, but they're not showing me at all anymore. It's in. I don't need to. Remember, we don't need to. Just by us being here, we have a massive impact on Earth's grid. Okay, you old souls, and old masters and things, have your just by you holding that frequency, vibration, and consciousness, you have a lot of weight on Earth's grid. So the collective, let's say every one of you are holding 10,000 people. I'm just giving it as an example. Say 10,000 people, you are holding that for them. And this is what we're doing. Yeah, it's very important. Yeah, absolutely. So this is why you don't have to. People think, oh my gosh, you're going to be doing. I do love helping people. I really do. So you want to do videos every day, to help people, to do this, to do that. That's what you think you're going to be doing. But if I'm guided, I don't. If I'm not guided, I'm not guided. I don't know. Don't know what the percentage is, but it does. And this is why it's important that we're here. This is why we were here. You don't try and block them. You've got to see what it's trying to show your higher self. There's darkness in you that you've got to see. You've got to see, and you've got to clear it, let go. So you've got to do your inner work, forgiveness, healing, clearing, whatever. And choice, you don't allow them. You don't give them power over you. Nothing has power over you. Okay, you don't have to fear them. Nothing and no one has power over you. If you fear it, it's you're fearing. So you can go for a past life regression. If you're battling with things that you are, seeing or you think you're being attacked or whatever it is, it's your self-testing you. It's your own energy. So what you can do is go for a past life regression, QHHT. You can find them online, practitioner, which does your past lives and your soul. And that in your soul, if you want to heal, depending on remember what you intend to do when you go for that. If you want to be whole as a soul again, do I want to heal? Because that's what your intentions are. When you tell them what you will be shown, it'll help you in your life or whatever. Maybe you've got, and also if there's something you need to clear there that you've manifested and whatever. So sometimes there are things in there that you need to get rid of. So go for a past life regression in your soul and do that healing and clearing. Choose the person wisely. Ask for the divine guidance that you pick the person, for your highest good. Do that, and then you can go afterwards to see start working. Give it some time, and maybe a month or so later, you'll go and see a psychic reader and healer, because then any other clearing that hasn't done, they will be able to clear those energies. It's just energy out of your body. And healing, it needs to be done, or, there we are. Yes, online for a QHHT practitioner. Because everything's done online these days, they can be anywhere in the world. So it really doesn't matter where you are. You are sovereign. You don't have to stay sovereign, you are sovereign. Oh, yeah. Choose it. Thank you. Thank you, that's so sweet, kind of you. I ask, there we are, if I'm needed, and that's another thing I learned here, but you'll also, I don't want to tell people what is, that's it. I know they'll reach there when they're meant to reach there, and that's it. It's interesting what you see. And I actually made a live yesterday on Facebook about dimensions, about a being. It's guiding me, because what we're doing now is we're going like this up and down. So we need to learn to, if you want to hold, say, change dimensions, jump timelines, dimensions, and be able to stabilize, to be able to hold it, because it's your physical body, really. It's nothing to do without that. Our physical vessel needs to anchor into that and stay there. This is what people are always thinking, it's a consciousness, it's just energy. Your physical vessel is the one that needs to be able to change frequency dimensions. This is why you're getting all upgrades. And people are feeling, physically tired, exhausted, this, that, because the body's recalibrating your cells. So what I was shown, I talked about it. I've been working with this being has appeared in my reality now, new being, and it's showing. Yeah, it's amazing when you actually now so you're starting to feel it. So okay, which dimension, and so okay, there we are. I can feel that now. I'm there, and so you'll understand. You'll realize when you're dropping. It was a lovely feeling. So I managed to. They were showing me how to. So you can anchor into a higher dimension. Absolutely, raise your physical frequency, vibration, and thing to that higher dimension, and hold it. And that was a lovely feeling. Wow, you just feel it, and you know what lowers it? Yes. And then I managed to keep it there. It's like, wow, you can notice when you started dropping, and then it's because we're so used to this. So now you're bored, or you're doing something, and you put your TV on, or you put music on, or it's your mind. We're filling our mind constantly with distraction, but that's also energy, as we know. So before you realize it, boops, you've dropped right down again, because you're listening to things, rubbish, negative. Your mind is busy. The mind, to stay present, to stay in the now moment. So it was really lovely. It was very interesting. Explaining the dimensions and just seeing them and being able to shift through them and how to shift through them. It was lovely. The physical body. It's a physical body, and this is why the upgrades, everything is happening in the physical body, and the DNA is being it's because of this equinox. Some people aren't, because they're not choosing to go higher. They just think it's going to automatically, So that's what you'll get. You'll get to a certain level. You can go as high as you want. So yes, it is amazing. The DNA. So while we've got this, we moved into a different part of the solar system, different solar radiation. You can feel it. Some of you, I do. You can actually feel when it's working, when your cells are recalibrating, changing again, like mine. You can feel them. You can feel them vibrating. It's like a vibrator. There we are. Different levels. You can switch it on or off. I can feel my actual cells and every atom, every cell. It's so lovely. You can see them and talk to them as well. Is vibrating. You can feel them recalibrating. You feel them vibrating. You can feel that. It's lovely, Especially where these things are coming in, you can feel it. So you can feel what it's doing to your cells and your cellular structure. Yes, isn't it beautiful? It is. But that's it. It also depends what's inside you. If you've done your shadow work and you've faced your biggest fears, which we all say go through the demonic realm and the ET thing, you've got to go through all that nonsense because, oh my gosh, you're scared. First of all, you're scared of all these things, and that's a lower one. And then you go through, oh my gosh, this ET can do that to me, because you start going through all that nonsense, and then you realize, actually no, because of what you focus. I know, it's amazing. No. It is amazing what you learn and see, and wow. But you got to bump through. You got to bump your way through it. Yeah, and it depends on your attention. And who knows? And also Akashic records. I forgot about that, because each of us will have a different Akashic record, which is going to drive us. Now, depending on our past and our Akash, what we did, what we achieved, whatever, that's going to influence you now. Absolutely influence people. Especially if they're not choosing to change it, or they're not instructing it to whatever to focus on. Yeah, it is just I know what is incredible, the love, the unconditional love, the peace, the inner peace, the unconditional love, the wow. That it's just, yep, absolutely. It's just incredible what's out there. It's just a beautiful, beautiful presence, peace, love, absolutely most amazing. Yeah, everything is good, and focus on it. What do you choose? I don't want to go. You can choose as well. Choose what you want in your life, in your reality. That's what people are forgetting. They're so worried about out there. That's the same thing. So outside is going to dictate your life then. People understand this on an individual level. Oh gosh, I must manifest. I want this and that. So they sit there and like, oh, I want money. I want, whatever, all this thing. But what they're forgetting, same thing as within, so without. It's just on a micro scale. is that they now they are believing that the outside world can influence them. So, oh my gosh, they can do this to me, and that is that. Yeah. So you choose your reality, your vibration, your frequency, your dimension. Yes, that's your darkness. Good one. You're waking up to the darkness in you. All the past lives, all your fears, all the dark dense energy you've suppressed, that's in you, that you've manifested, that you, oh my gosh, it's there. Now you're gonna overcome those. You're gonna learn, and then they'll vanish. Absolutely. If you want, I went through it, and it's so if you go to my YouTube channel. I don't know if I linked all the videos, there were too many, but I went through that all my original. So when you first wake up, exactly, and then you will start fighting those energies. Then you will start what you will say being attacked, or you'll start seeing things and think you're possessed and all that nonsense, and attachments and all those will come to light. All that energy you've hung on to, allowed, because you haven't claimed it. So you've allowed this. Some of it's also for lessons. You allowed those things to manipulate you to whatever it is, right? So who knows what attachments and things you could have or can't. I'm not going to put ideas in your mind. So it's up to you and your cash. So if you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see when I went to, it's called the demonic realm and all that stuff. I don't think I linked all my videos there, but they're there. I shared some of the stories. I might have shared some of the videos. I can't remember. It wasn't, And this is what that's one of the earlier stages in your awakening. Yeah, it's quite. Yeah, there's your challenge. To see, because you've got to understand you are the creator. You are source. You have the power. You're not giving it away. So if you, oh my gosh, so exactly, it's testing you. It's a test to see, oh my gosh, that thing looks scary, it can do. No, absolutely, get the hell away from me. You see, it depends on your cash and what you need to learn and what you chose to experience. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just your mind. It's amazing what it can conjure up. Because remember, as a creator, you've conjured all this up. You've created all this. Every dark thing, everything, you created it. And sometimes your past lives are really dark or bad, are gonna come up. So you're gonna have vivid dreams or vivid experiences, and you're gonna think, oh my gosh, but that was actually probably you in a past life that was maybe a dark, whatever. It's a lot to do. It's a lot to navigate. Wow, it's a lot to navigate. And we've done our version of fighting that. That's what you do, you think, and that's what you're gonna. So basically, you're fighting yourself in a way. I don't want to put things into your. Always ask for your highest good. Okay, in the beginning, ask for the protection, ask whatever you need, just to work your way through that bumpy experience. I can tell you what, very scary experience. Depending on what was in your cache, and mine was some dark shit. Wow, very, very. Very came into some really wow. Ooh. Who knows? There we are. That was quite an experience. And then you laugh, and then you realize that nothing has power over you. And when you cognize that, it's not saying it. Oh, nothing has power over me, but I'm still frightened. Oh no! Then you laugh. You realize nothing has power over you, and that realization and acceptance and claiming it. Well. Whatever you were frightened of, all of a sudden evaporates. Poof, like the magic fairy. Poof, gone. Because it has no power over you. You command that energy to tell it to bugger off, get out. I do not accept any dark, dense energy things. So you decide. If you don't want any dark, dense energy in you, you command it out. It no longer serves you. So you have to decide what you want to release, dark, dense energy and things. Release from you. Let it go. Don't serve me anymore. Thank you for your lessons. Now get lost. There we are. Whatever, yeah. It's part of the spiritual, it's part of us. We're waking up and we've got to face our shadows, our past lives, all our nonsense that we've, manifested and whatever. And did I? Oh boy, but I can tell you what, when you're in it, you're in that level, it's a challenge. So this is what you have to overcome. See, to rise above it. You have to rise above that. And that's a challenge. Pretty much, yeah, as a soul. Yeah. Oh, what we haven't done. It's part of this, 3D Earth game we decided to play. Oh, you're welcome. I laughed when I realized. Although I was waiting for someone, I'd contacted someone to remove this thing from me because I was told you have to get someone to come remove this attachment, this demon thing from you, right? So I was waiting for this appointment. Anyway, obviously I wasn't meant to have the appointment. I'm very grateful I didn't. And then I came across a video that someone was talking about this, which I shared. And it was, oh, wow. And the minute I cognized and realized nothing, and I said it and claimed it, oops, problem gone. Otherwise, you would have gone to someone and they'll take it back, and it keeps coming back. And, oh, my gosh, you're going to go, so please take this thing from me. Same thing, you're giving your power away to him because he's the only person that can remove or clear anything from you, or whatever, or that thing that's frightening you, or, that you, whatever. Yeah. It's interesting. Wow. If you go to my YouTube channel, there's something about the demonic realm. So go down my videos, go to all the videos, and there's something there about the demonic realm. We're talking about that nonsense. Yes, I do some of them. Absolutely. When I started YouTube channel, only so I could download and then some of these videos and put them up to YouTube for people that missed the lives. So this is why I started sharing this stuff. But what I was doing all the time was making my lives, so all my trips, astrals, everything I was going through, I was doing them daily on Facebook. Oh, and to try and download those things, I gave up trying to do that. So what I was doing was then linking these trips and things I saw, so you can see as you go through the different levels of consciousness. So I go back and I can see my videos a year or so ago. Wow, before I even started working on the ego. Wow, I was so in my ego a year ago. I was still very much controlled by the ego, the egoic mind. It was very much, I was awake, had my spiritual awakening, but wow, I hadn't, decided to make peace with that ego. That ego was running the show. But it's interesting. So all those different things, I went through all of that, and I shared those, what I was seeing, what I was experiencing. I haven't got them all, I can't remember. Some of them in a group. Yeah. So then I just made a story, and I think I linked in the description the actual videos where I described, because you can't remember, you go on you see so many things. And it's funny, even now when you look back, you can see how your perception has changed. Because what you're perceiving when you're doing your meditation or your astral or whatever you're saying, or even say you're doing it, some people get in their dreams, they don't do that in meditation. So, but it's coming through your human mind and filter. So your biases, your fears, your perceptions are filtering this shit. So as you work on it, especially your ego, as you work on clearing it, then you'll start seeing things differently. So even now, when I look back at some of the visions I had, or trips I went on, right, astrals, I perceived an awesome assumption. I assumed this because it looked like that. So I assumed things, and then I go back and realize afterwards, oh, wow, no, okay, it wasn't quite. You see? Consciousness, perception, biases. So it's to work on clearing your nonsense, your baggage, your ego, all those things. And it's interesting me to go back and watch, actually, because that's how I perceived it then. But it's a lot of self-work. Wow. So I shared them. Yeah, I shared a lot. I kept them. So most of them are all on Facebook. Wow, there's lots of them, tons of them. I went through that whole demonic thing. And then I went through the ET thing. And now your cash is waking up, so all your past battles that you've experienced on other planets, they come up. So you start seeing all this, and oh my gosh, never stop. Wow, you've got lots to work through, and then it's choice, you see. And then you realize the mind is, you start getting the mind is, wow, let me make peace with that thing, because that thing is really causing problems. And then the ego, and it's like, wow. But then also, you see, it's a cash. It depends on your cash. It's absolutely in your intentions, and maybe whatever you wanted to achieve in this shift, and what we came here to do, because every single one of us is different and unique. Although we're all part of Source, we're all equal as souls, right? There's no difference, and we're all working for the greatest good, for the collective plan to achieve this, right? That's absolutely, because as on the other side of the veil, every single one of us is part of Source, and we're all playing our role in for the greatest good, for a higher plan. So it involves Earth, but it also involves past Earth. What we will do here is going to affect what will happen in the galaxy, and so on and so on. And so we all do. But you've all got a different role. Of course, when you drop in and you've chosen your own experience, whatever. It's just, well, fascinating. Really interesting. And those that maybe have given you the hardest lessons in life, wow, you've got to thank them. Thank them. Because they chose to come play that role to kick your backside. So you would be like, okay, now, do I like, for that experience, whatever. It is quite something. It is quite, as the Buddhists say, the ones that, are your best teachers. And people don't want to, But it's work. And if you're willing to do the work, just keep going. And if you're struggling, ask for that help, don't give up, whatever. Anyway. What can I say? I've seen some interesting things, wow, beautiful things in Akash. We had some lovely things on this earth as well once upon a time, very long time ago. But as I say, we reached our ego. We didn't seem to get the ego under control. So we would get up to a high level of consciousness and do things, and then the ego, would get control of us, and then we would, things would go not so good, and then we would annihilate ourselves off the planet to save the planet and start again. And many of us have realized that we did this on other planets. We completely annihilated our planets because we chose to divide and fight instead of choosing the higher consciousness. We destroyed ourselves before we got to that level of consciousness. So our planet was destroyed, and then we had to move on to another planet. And, learn, whatever you experience there, you've got to overcome it, rise above it, learn from it, whatever. And everybody will have different experiences, you see. So you've got to, it all comes to individual. You've got to go within, face your own fears, your own everything. Overcome your, that's it. Decide how high you want to go as a soul. And when you want to go. There's no limit. You're only limiting yourself. If you think I can only go to 5D, I can only do this, it's everything's external, well then it's going to be that way. It's not that you've got no control over it, you've got absolute control over it. So you decide exactly what you want, when, how, and whatever, and that's it. It's absolutely in your control, everything. Anyway, lovely people, I would love to go out for a walk. Let's see, we've got a little bit of blue sky, and then if I get distracted normally, I'll leave it a bit late and think it's still going to be there, then I turn around, the weather's not good and I can't walk. I want to get out in nature today. Well, yesterday I was baking bread, so I definitely want to get outside today and be, I'm just so at one with Gaia, just to be, be out one with everything, and nature is so beautiful. All right, beautiful, lovely people. Do not panic, do not fear. And if you are having a problem with it, being addicted to social media or fear or whatever it is, switch it all off. Stop following, unsubscribe, block the negative feeds and channels and things that pop up in your feed, whatever. Block them. And they won't appear. And focus, pray, and meditate on what is best for you. Not out of fear. See the world that you want to see. Manifest it, make it, create it. And those of you fighting with your fears, you have to ask for help. That help is there. But always remember, you have a choice. Okay, love you lots, and all is good with your souls. That's a good way to wake up every morning and thank you when you go to sleep. All is good with my soul. All is good with my soul. All right, and thank you for being here. Just gratitude. Thank you for being here because you chose to be here for the shift. All this work, all these centuries you've put in, all the lives you've had on earth, thousands of them, to get to here, to be able to get humanity to this point. A lot of work. You, your ancestors, which are you, did a lot of work to get here. So honor all that, all those past lives, all those past yous, and be so grateful that you are here now to do this. You have the opportunity, so don't waste it. Do you know? Yes, you can choose to be. All right. All right, beautiful people. Bye.